Hey collectors, Anthony from HNE here, and today we are checking out 6 cool Become Brave Transformers, Prime Wars, Combiner Wars, Deluxe knockoff action figures from SirToys. A mix of Aerialbots, Protectobots, and Combaticons, this set of 6 includes Air Raid, Alpha Bravo, Skydive, Blades, First Aid, and Brawl. I was surprised by the quality of these action figures, and with the sales price and shipping, each one cost about 10 USD. And here they are, the 6 figures I ordered from SirToys. Frankly, I went in hesitant. Now, Gretch was like praising SirToys up and down. It's like I had to try it. And they were running a sale, so I took a look. And I heard of Cool Become Brave before, or CBB. And I was like, why does it sound familiar? I also heard of Wang Xie or whatever it's called, but they're not a thing anymore. But anyway, anybody who knows me or seen any of my collection knows that I have only 2 of the Aerialbots, so I was like, okay, well, they have 3 of them, quote unquote, 3 of them. So I was like, well, I guess I'll get those, and then I'll get whatever I can on Defensor, and then of course I only needed Brawl for the Combaticon, so I was like, okay, I'll get Brawl. Not willing to pay the first party prices. I got these guys for about $10 each with shipping, and frankly, the QC is spectacular compared to mainline Hasbro stuff. I mean, look, if you didn't see the symbols on some of them, you wouldn't know that there were knockoffs. Here is Firefly. He's the official Hasbro release. I mean, look, like, can you even tell the difference just visually looking and not considering the badges at all? Like, wow. And so, and the other thing is the transformations for the jet modes are exactly what they're supposed to be. They have the ratchet bits. The only complaint I have is that they might be too good. I know, it's a hot take. I mean, other than Brawl, who is loose in a couple of places, everybody else is like, maybe their joints are a little too tight, but I mean, they still function as combiners and as jets and as in helicopters and whatever else they are. So when you order from SirToys, in this particular case, they just come with the instructions, which mimic the Combiner Wars instructions, except for Brawl, who I guess this mimics some other format. I want to say, what was it? Power of the Primes? I think this is Power of the Primes. So they do a pretty good job of mimicking even the manuals. I mean, look at this. It even has 505 on here. Let's see what this one, I think this one says a number on here somewhere. I'm just going to let you know I can't read Chinese, so yeah, right here, 205. So they do try to mimic the guides, and they do a decent job. And I'm sure it catches a lot of people like, oh, this isn't Hasbro. Well, it's still just as good. How to put this? Knockoffs are notoriously usually of low quality, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to take the chance that at $10 a piece, if one comes out broken, whatever. But SirToys, he shipped the stuff and he took any broken parts and detached them so they wouldn't break while being shipped. And keep in mind, this is Asia. It took weeks to get to my house in the United States, and here they are. Now, I'm going to point out the only differences I've noticed. Like, we would bring back out Firefly. He is loose. He's clearly loose. His arms, though, they had that ratchet on it. I don't know how we can hear it. So, I mean, there's that ratchet, and a lot of them have the ratchet. All of them have some type of ratcheting, I believe, but some of them aren't as tight in some areas where they're super tight in others. It's very interesting. Although I noticed looking at some of these guys that they don't. It's like he has landing gear, but maybe it's just the jet type. It must not match his type. So we'll start here. I don't. Other than Brawl, and I think that's First Aid and Medics, or maybe I got those backwards, I don't really know the names of the others, Aerialbots. And that's on me. It's just, they weren't my favorite combiner. It's just the way it is. Then again, Piranha and Computron are my favorite combiners, and I forget most of them too, so whatever. So anyway, they each came with a weapon, and it came with those hands that you're used to, and I'll show you. The hand here has the articulate thumb, and it has fingers if I can ever get them open. So as you see, the fingers do come out, and then of course you can grab onto things per se, and the little 5mm port there for weapon holding or whatever in combined mode. But otherwise, they're fine for what they are. And I'm not showing any combined modes today. That's it's a little bit more effort than it needs to be because I'd have to pull out Silverbolt. Anyway, weapons, they're decent enough. They're probably about, if not the same quality as the weapons that came with their regular figures anyway, or I should say official figures. So here he is pretty decent. His knees are nicely frictioned, so like they're not wiggling around, but his thighs, one of them is loose. The other one not so much, as you can see. Yeah. The waist, it does what it's supposed to. The arms have soft ratchets, which is weird why some of them have like hard ratchets. But you know, this one's soft. And then, see if you can hear this. And I'll put it near the mic. Like legit combiner, like peg going on there. And the transformation on all these guys is super simple. I'm not going to transform every single one of them because, I mean, they are essentially the same transformation for a couple of them, like these two here and these two here. But it's interesting enough to go over. And the one thing I would like to point out is I even they got this little bare area over here where you peg into create the knee. That is here too. So the other thing I've noticed is that these are really tight just to get them into place. And if you don't do it right, it won't close. So it's very interesting, but super tight. But you know what? I would mark this down to just great quality for what it is. I mean, I didn't pay full price for these, and I kind of wonder what the full price would be because it seems like it would be. I mean, obviously, as a knockoff, they would be less expensive than the full price item, but quality is definitely there. And so after a little finagling, I figured out how it goes. You just arm goes here into slot, make sure they're lower. I was doing it a little bit of the hard way, but here we go. And look at that. Look at how good he looks in jet form. Like, legit nice looking. And then we can attach weapons. I'm trying to decide where I want to. Like, I can throw this onto a wing right here, and then this can go on the top. This reduces aerodynamics like no one's business, but look at that. Now let's compare him to Firefly. And if you're wondering, yes, I did mistransform him. I don't like the way the hollow bit hangs up here if you do it the right way, so I think this looks better. But here is Firefly. He actually has landing gear. Now the transformation is near identical except for the wing structure. And as you can see, not too much different. And I'm frankly just impressed. Like, even scale-wise, they're lined up perfectly. And if you didn't know that this symbol was a knockoff symbol, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's a team symbol, you know, rather than CBB's, like, Autobot symbol, or maybe even use it for the Decepticons. Yeah, it looks like the same thing with the Decepticons. I'm looking at Brawl there. So, I mean, it is just decent quality. So, putting Firefly aside, let's get to the helicopters. So, we're going to see that his weapon... Now, the weapon for the characters of the same type, I guess, are all the same. And so, like, we don't have to go through his. We can just throw him in the back here. And the weapon here is, you know, another piece of hollow plastic that's just black. And then, of course, he got a hand of his own. Does all the same things as the other hand. And he has some ratchets. Although, maybe it's the other one. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So not ratchet, but like really tight joints. Like you can hear that. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Just wow. Transformation again is pretty much the same as the. And I realize I have these guys mistransformed. Technically, these are supposed to be back like this. But I was like, which way do I want the rotor? But transformation is essentially the same as the because I think I have Brawl's teammate on the Combaticons as a helicopter. So anyway, we want to fold these around and fill out the front end here because this is the front end of the craft, and we want to close these up, cover up the toes, make sure the tabs go in, and if you are looking for these and you're like, oh, I would love to finish my collection and don't have to pay those super prices, yeah, I mean, go check out SirToys. They might still have them on sale. Flip the waist 180 degrees. Now, these legs are supposed to slide in. Oh, I put this together and I shouldn't have. Anyway, super difficult to get it to... because they're tight too, just like the other ones. There you go. And they latch in here at the top. And you kind of have to do it all at the same time. Let me disconnect this again. My brain is like, oh yeah, I took it apart in reverse order, but it was a while ago. Here we go. And we'll try to attach this all at the same time. Don't do as I do as I say. Anyway. There we go. All of it in the same time. And then we can snap all this back together. And front end's done. And moving on. No, just kidding. Finish here. As you see, or you may have heard that the arm joint's a little squeaky. And light ratchets on the elbows, I guess. And if these are perfect, they would go in. There you go. This is super loose. I mean, I'm probably can tighten it or something, and I'll worry about that later. Turn around the head. Put down the back end here. This comes separate, and you attach it. I like the fact that it looks this good. I really appreciate it, and you can pose it like, oh, I'm turning, you know. I don't know if that's how they really work, though. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, so tab here, goes here. Squeaky joint, tab here. And here we go. And it's pretty spectacular. No landing gear. I don't think any of the helicopters have landing gear. Bothered by the blades, but what you're going to do. And just looks very, very good. And then moving on, let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's see where we can put these things. This could be a nice bit of landing gear. So stick this down here. I think that's actually what I did with Blast Off. And I was like, what do I do with this thing, though? Like, where does this go? I guess I can stick it in the hand upside down. There you go. There's armed up a helicopter, man. That actually stands pretty well, too. Okay.
Looking for that hard-to-find action figure for your collection and do not want to pay inflated secondary prices? Then check out SirToys, where you can find products straight from Asia that can be delivered right to you. That is SirToys, SirToys.com.
So, Brawl, his arms are as loose as heck. The right one's the worst. Left one at least attempts to stay in place. This is also doubles as his cannon for his tank mode. And okay, so the reason why I did not get him initially is because a lot of people complain about the waist here. It is literally, I don't know how you can see it, it is this one piece. That is what connects the top and bottom of him together. There is nothing else going on here. And that is worrisome for me. But you know what? It's a me problem and not necessarily anybody else problem. Trying to remember how he, like, his arms fold up like this, because you got to complete treads, and then they, I believe, move forward, and then, let's see, I think his head goes back. Do I need to turn it? I don't think I need to turn it. Let's see. Trying to remember all of this. Feet are pretty much done. Like, you just kind of pull them out and they slide in. There we go. And then there's this bit here that does like the accordion bit. And so it's a matter of trying to figure out exactly the position everything needs to go in so you can complete the form. Now, obviously his waist does a 180. And that worries me a little bit because of the way the joint is. But it's supposed to all fit snugly. And the joint does, like, there's the joint in the leg here. I don't know how you can see it. It does not want to move position, and it's supposed to. There you go. And then see if the other one will start obeying me now too. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, super tight. Doesn't really compensate for my other concerns, but voila. So we start connecting the treads together, because it'll help you place where the front end goes. Just make sure everything's lined up. Here we go. And there we go. Oh, I could have turned the head. You know what? It's going to get covered in a sec, so I guess it doesn't matter. Plop this down. Hi, guy. I see you. I'll see you. Plug gun in here. I was trying to figure out what to do with this thing. Like, it has no practical point for it, but I was like, oh, we'll put a back-on gun. Just, but then that gets in the way, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. And then I thought, oh, we can turn it like this. So now he has a backwards gun. He has 4 rollers, and this thing does not turn. I mean, you can obviously turn the gun itself, but that looks tacky. But I mean, it's a pretty good tank mode. That center pin, doesn't matter if it's a knockoff or the official version. It will bother me. But at least, you know, with the knockoff, if this breaks, I'm like, oh, I'm only at $10 instead I'm out of whatever the... I think it goes for upwards of 100 right now or something. But it's the sealed version with the comic book, which is understandable. So finally, in the difference of transformations area, we get the basically Ironhide / off-road truck mode. His arms are loose. And his transformation is interesting because... let me show you his axe real quick. Because parts go in between parts. I don't know how else to explain it. And it's just, it makes it interesting as a transformation. But it feels kind of like it's like Cyberverse level. Like I don't know if I'm explaining it well. But like you see these arms obviously go together like this, and then they kind of slide in. I'm gonna try to, like, you can see they go in here. And they have those squeaky, I don't know, here, we're gonna squeaky joints on this guy, and trying to figure out exactly where the arm placement goes. Hold on, there we go. I don't think I have to turn his head, but it's just a matter of getting his body to kind of just cover over itself without messing up the overall transformation. And this is why I saved this one for last, because I remember it being a particular pain in the butt. Okay, now we gotta try to cram everything back together, hopefully without breaking it. Because right now they look broken. But, oh, come on. Because clearly the legs are down, the arms are in place. Now it's just a matter of getting everything to line up so I can tap it together. Here we go. It's pretty particular. See, now, if you have the figure, let me know in the comments, or at least one form of the official version of this figure, I should say. Let me know in the comments if the official one is this fidgety. But once you get it together, it rolls fine. The front end does not want to stay. And then the gap here is bothersome. But I mean, otherwise, decent enough for a futuristic ambulance, I guess. How the weapons would go, I guess like this. Oops. And, I don't know, can we turbo power this thing? Oh, that's actually not too bad. Here we go. And it doesn't seem like it gets in the way, so that's good. It rolls pretty good, too. So, essentially, that is the cool Brave order I got from SirToys, and he did throw in this 2-step or 3-step changer thing. It just stands here. It does nothing else. But check out SirToys' website. The information is in the description. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe.